Should I just start this on my own?
I need a runner, honey.
Stay in the car. We'll get it. What the hell, man? Take your time. Huh? What? Sure hope you're right.
Okay. Up now we have Clint Bowyer. He drives a number 15 Peak Toyota for Michael Waltrip Racing, and certainly has been on fire at these restrictor plate tracks here of late, and certainly is off to a great start here as well this season. Clint, talk about your success you've had at restrictor plate races here the last couple of years, and then your outlook for here at Talladega this weekend.
Yeah, Talladega, it's been good to us, but I know you have to respect these racetracks, and you got to get to the end of them. You got to have a little bit of luck not to get caught up in things, and more importantly, be careful not to cause them yourself. But got new colors. Peak being on board this week is big for us. Super excited about it, and happy to be here. It felt good to be out there and practice, and I tell you, everybody was, the weather coming tomorrow, nobody, everybody's worried about qualifying being rained out. It was kind of a go time, in that first little bit of practice there, so it was pretty exciting.
All right, we'll take questions for Clint. We'll start with Ed Hinton and then go to Tom Jensen. Go ahead.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Clint, what do you think about this compared to Daytona? Has there been enough time to tweak enough to make the racing here extremely different than it was at Daytona with the Gen 6 car?
Well, only time's going to tell. You got to get to the end of these races, and if you get caught up in a wreck, not at the end, through any time through the race other than the last 50 laps, it's your fault. Doesn't matter what caused it or how you got involved with it. If you get wrecked before the end of the race, there's nobody to blame but yourself, because you put yourself in that situation. That being said, you're always going to be a little bit cautious and play defense, until the end. But also, with this track being wider than Daytona, the end of the race is going to be exciting. You get a little bit excited and antsy to get up into the pack and even 50, 60 laps to go, because you're like, how am I going to get up there? They get 3 wide and there's just literally no place to go. Here, you can go 4, and I've seen it. Well, when it goes 5 wide, you get in a wreck, but we see that quite a bit here. Somebody attempting it, and that's when it gets this place exciting. But looking forward to hopefully getting to the end, and more importantly, hopefully getting a win.
Let's go with Tom Jensen and then Reed Spencer. Get Tom and Mike, and then we'll go Reed and then to Nate.
Hi, Clint. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Last year here, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got a second concussion, and Denny's racing with a broken back this weekend. Do you guys worry about safety here more than any other track? And do you have empathy for Denny going out there and trying to race in a situation where he's recovering from injury?
Well, I mean, this is how we make our living. You've got to put food on the table, and we're all in the same boat. We're all given a wonderful opportunity to get paid, doing what we love to do. So that being said, anytime a racer's okay to get back in the car, he's going to do it. Whether he's sore or whatever the case is, you're going to do it. This is what we love to do, and we'd do it if it didn't pay anything, truth be told. But it's just nature of the beast. It's part of it. Coming to these racetracks, these restrictor plate tracks, yes, the level of intensity on the racetrack is a lot more than some other racetracks, especially those last 15 to 20 laps. I mean, your odds of getting in a crash and probably a big hit is pretty great right there at the last few laps, if you can get that far.
Go to Reed Spencer and then Nate Ryan. Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. Clint, with the start-finish line here being so far past the end of pit road, as you're planning a move on the last lap, do you have to restrain yourself in terms of not following your natural instincts as to when to go and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, your natural instincts is off of 4. Here we come. Not to mention the run you get through the corner. That's usually where a run starts and it progresses, and you catch them and need to make a move right there at the exit of the corner. And you got to be, you got to be careful when you do it, because it is a long ways to the start-finish line. You definitely got to keep that in mind as you're making your moves. But at the end of the day, if the run's there that helps behind you, you got to go. If you drag your brakes right there in that situation, they're gonna get to the outside of you, stall you out, and your opportunity is going to be gone. You just got to make sure that when you make a move that you've got the help and they're committed. You're at least halfway confident that they're committed behind you, because you can't do it by yourself unless you guys are just out by yourselves, gone, like I was and Jeff Burton and I were a couple years ago. It makes it tricky. It makes, you definitely have to think about where that start-finish line is as you're coming, approaching that last lap.
Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Hey, Clint. You were just talking about your philosophy here about how, if you wreck early, that's your fault. You need to kind of come in and be prepared better than that. And Kevin Harvick was in here earlier saying that his approach is he doesn't worry about things he can't control, and that was something that sort of instilled in him at RCR. How much, you guys have both had a lot of success here. It seems like you guys have good attitudes about it. How much of it is attitude coming in here and knowing how to race versus, I know talent has to play into it because the draft's important, but is attitude a big part of it, do you think, for you guys?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of guys that come to this track, worried, nervous, and not scared that they're going to, get hurt. I don't think it's scared that they're going to lose points. They're going to get caught up in a crash, and it's going to cost them, and it's going to take them a month to overcome, a bad race. I mean, looking at my chase last year, this race right here, cost me a shot at a championship. I mean, this was the one race that I felt like we lost, enough points that we couldn't make up for it, racing against the caliber of teams that we were. So, that being said, these are important racetracks. You've got to, you got to be good at them. You got to have a good attitude, and that goes a long ways. Just like you said, I mean, attitude is a big part of this, but it goes towards, being a student while you're out there, learning as much as you can. That's the tricky thing about these situations and at these racetracks. You get here, well, we're scared to practice, because we don't want to tear them up, because that's the best car we got. That's the best opportunity at winning that we have. So you're out there into the race, and you're like, well, I need to learn something. Now we're single file, and I'm not learning here either. So you get to the end of the thing, and nobody's really learned anything, and all hell breaks loose as we're trying to figure it out, with 2 or 3 to go and try to win the race, for our teams. But it's just it's a fun situation. But you better make sure that you're having fun with it. If you're miserable the whole time you're here, you're not going to make the right decisions, and probably not going to have the success.
So even though it cost you the championship, you still come in here and have fun. It doesn't change your attitude.
Was not as much on the line this time. And there's a hell of a lot of fans here. It is fun winning in front of a packed house like that and a grandstand like that. I mean, it's when you do a burnout, it's pretty cool. You look up and see all those fans. This is a track you want to win at.
Other questions for Clint? Raise your hand. We'll get you the mic. Anybody? Right over here. Woody?
Because there's others you just don't want to win at. I don't know what the hell I was saying there.
Woody came with MRN. Clint, just want to jump ahead a week with Mother's Day coming up. You got special plans, and give us an idea of what your mom meant to your career.
Oh, Mom. She everything. She's been with me and is usually at every racetrack. Missing it this weekend. Definitely be there next weekend. It's just it's always fun to have her here. I'm telling you, she's a racer. She wants to win, and she's going to tell you you're doing wrong, shape up when you need it, and she's going to tell you, proud of you and do a good job, when she's proud of you. So just a neat lady, and we all enjoy her.